So, my filming area, well, it might not look like it on camera, is entirely different. I had my desk behind me where I did all my makeup, and I was getting so sick and tired of balancing everything on my lap and like throwing it all over the floor, so I switched it and I moved another like little console table behind me. I have this in front of me. Like, we did so much work last night on this area. It is just so much easier to do my makeup now. I feel like I can do more tutorials now. It's not such a big pain. I do feel a little bit like a news reporter though. Like, I feel like I'm missing like a big stack of papers to shuffle. Don't they do that a lot on the news? We're live from the RachhLoves headquarters to share with you an update on the drugstore haul. Was that good? That's my best reporter voice. Hello everyone! I'm here today to share with you guys an update on my drugstore haul that I did for you guys 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to share with you guys just some of the products I really enjoyed and products that just did not so much work for me. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up so I know. And without further ado, let's get into this. So let's just pick at random here. What do we want to start with? What's this? Oh, it's concealer. So this is the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Concealer, and to be honest, it just wasn't, I wasn't super excited about it. I wasn't super thrilled about it. The coverage was probably medium coverage at best. It was more on the dark side, and I believe this is, yeah, it's fair. This is not fair, people. I had to get like a couple of coats going to get decent coverage. I just wasn't super thrilled with it, and therefore just kind of like a meh for me. Next up is a highlighting quad, and this is by Physicians Formula. This is their bronze booster, and I'm wearing it on my skin right now, and I have to say I really like it. So the only thing I will say about it is that, if you can't already tell, it is a little bit on the dusty side, so you have to be very careful with your brush when you're applying this product, and a little bit goes a long way, especially for this shade right here. It is so pigmented, so like just putting it on my face, 1 is okay, 2 it's like okay, let's just like blend that out a lot. So what I've been doing lately is kind of mixing these two together. I've been applying this shade to like my nose and a little bit on the forehead for more of that dewy look. I've been applying that to the inner corner of the eye, and it's beautiful, and this shade on the lid is stunning. It is such a beautiful coppery shade, super pigmented and metallic. It doesn't work so much for my skin tone as a highlight, but like on the eyes, beautiful. So this for me was a win. Next up is a lip color. This is by Revlon. It is their Ultra HD Gel Lip Color. This is in the shade HD Sands or 700. It's just a very pretty, natural, neutral pink tone. It's a little bit on the nude side. It goes on nicely onto the lips. It feels nice and hydrating. It's not super long wearing or anything like that. It's not like mind-blowing, crazy, amazing new product must have, but as a nice like everyday lip color, it's pretty, it feels nice on the lips, it's a lovely color, and so I mean overall if you're looking for something, this is really nice. Next up is a foundation, and this is by Hard Candy. Is their Glamouflage Invisible Camouflage Foundation, and a lot of you guys were saying that this is not a new product, and I blame Walmart because they put a little thing and it said new on it, so I could only assume. I don't always get a chance to go out to the drugstore, and it's not like Sephora where they have everything like nicely laid out, like this is new, this is not new. Like, get it together, Walmart. You're making me look bad. So while this is not new in general, this is new to me, and I did get a chance to test it out. It is supposed to be a full coverage foundation. It's supposed to dry down to a powder matte finish, super like blendable. It fits seamlessly over the skin. Like, it was checking off all of the boxes for me for a foundation, and I tested it out and it looked okay. Let's start from the beginning. So when I first applied it, applied about 2 coats of it, and I feel like I'm like painting a wall. 2 coats of paint, you let it dry. I would say it's skewing more on like the medium side, like the medium high side in terms of full amounts of coverage. And then when it dried down, I applied a little bit of powder over top, and over the course of the day, it was starting to look a little bit cakey, especially in the areas where I have larger pores. It was settling into that a little bit. So I have to say overall, this was not one of my favorite foundations that I've ever tried, especially from the drugstore. I think there are better options out there. I am curious to see how this is going to look with my Estee Lauder. They have like the smoother primer underneath. I haven't tried that combination yet, but I've tried a bunch of them. It just wasn't settling nicely, and overall this was a miss for me. Next up are the blushes by Physicians Formula that I was really excited to test out, and I was really hoping that they would live up to what the Butter Bronzer did, because that is like a staple of mine. I love that bronzer, and I was really hoping that these would be as good, if not better. And I have to say, they have lived up to my expectation of them. Some of them have a little bit of a nice sheen to them. I wouldn't say glitter, they're not shimmery, but a nice sheen. It makes you look like healthy and glowy. And I have to say probably my favorites are Vintage Rose and Natural Glow, though all of them are really pretty. These are probably my favorites, especially with summer coming up. I feel like I'm going to wear these the most often. But the other ones are pretty too if you like a cooler tone, if you are fairer skinned. I think that these are also very, very pretty. And yeah, they're very blendable, they're easy to layer, they apply really nicely. I had a lot of success with these. I didn't love like their little, I don't know what this thing is that they come with. It's like a sponge, I don't really know. I used it from one of them and I was like, I don't understand what this is. So I would recommend a brush. But in terms of the product, I really enjoyed it and I will be using this a lot more often in the future. That's 2 for 2 Physicians Formula. You're crushing it. Next up is a highlight, and this is by e.l.f. and not that you'd be able to tell by looking at this, it is so nondescript. And all it says in the little sticker is illuminating. Illuminating what? Is it an illuminating concealer? Is it a highlight? Is it an eyeshadow? I don't know. Anyway, that's besides the point. I get it. You gotta save money where you can because this product is like way on the cheap side. Awesome. So anyway, this highlight, it is supposed to be an oily kind of base highlight, which sounds disgusting. You apply some grease to your face, it's supposed to make you look shiny and great. But it is, it's an oil infused highlight to give you that glowy, dewy, summery kind of a look, a much more, I feel like this is more of a lit from within kind of a look. And I tried it with makeup. Like you can see that's kind of what it looks like here, and I'm just gonna blend it out. Like it's very pretty, and when I was applying to my skin, I was like, ooh, that looks really nice. But layering it with makeup was so messy, and the fact that I couldn't really set it with powder because that's gonna ruin the whole effect of it. It kind of broke up some of the makeup I had on underneath, and I feel like the only way I would wear this is for like a beach day or something, and I'd kind of like dab it on like the outside of my face, anywhere where I want like a nice natural looking glow. For me, pairing this with makeup was a big miss, but I did like the effect of it on the skin by itself. Now on to the Rimmel Scandalize. This is their bold waterproof 24-hour liner. It's supposed to be an intense glossy color, and it has this like little ball thing at the end, and I was like, this is gonna be so weird to apply. And I'm gonna be honest, it was actually very nice to apply. It just helps you get into those like little itty bitty nitty little grooves around the lashes to get right into the base there and make your lashes look really full. And it was actually a lot easier to apply than I thought. I could, you know, actually apply it like all over the eyes before having to like re-dip and kind of perfect the areas. Overall, I thought this was a really good pencil. It was glossy though, which is not my go-to look for an everyday. I like something a little bit more on the matte side, but if you like a glossy finish, this is really nice. It stayed put all day and I had no issues with it. It wasn't flaking or anything. And yeah, it held up really well. It's just the thing that like it's glossy. So that's not like an everyday thing for me. So that's the only thing I didn't love about it. But other than that, great liner. Next up is by CoverGirl, and this is their Katy Cat Pearl, which is supposed to be an eyeshadow or like a highlight or something like this. And honestly, this was a big miss for me, unfortunately. It just was it was just glitter. It felt like just gold glitter that I was applying to my cheekbones, and I was just like, this isn't highlight, I'm sorry. And then I applied it to my lids, and it was just sort of like, it gave this chunky kind of a glitter look, but there was no color depth underneath it that I found anyway, and so when applying it, it just didn't look right. I tried it with primer, without primer, just didn't look right, and I have other eyeshadows that just do a way better job in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, overall, I just wasn't super impressed with this product. I think there are better ones out there by CoverGirl, and yeah, it was a bit of a miss. Now onto a color corrector, and this is for underneath the eyes. It is by Pixi, and it is their color correcting brightening peach. And I applied it under the eyes. I have it under the eyes today. It does feel a little bit on the heavy side when you apply it. It takes a little bit of work to kind of blend it out. It does do the job. It does kind of conceal those under eye areas. I personally think there are better ones out there, in my opinion, versus this one. It just felt a little bit thick, and I don't know, I feel weird about like really like pulling or like kind of blending things in underneath the eyes because it's such a delicate area. So I like things to be a little bit on the lighter side in terms of consistency. So yeah, I don't know, this wasn't my favorite product ever. It wasn't terrible, but yeah, it's just kind of like meh. And that's everything for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more of these drugstore hauls and haul updates and things like that in the future. And if you have any requests, leave them down below. I love hearing from you guys. I hope you're all having an amazing, amazing week so far, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you, girls. Mwah.